All right, here we are, episode 1 with reselling the real life. And I know I've talked about him before, but some of you probably don't know who it is. So this is Nathan Rambaud. He's been
How's it going?
NL Rebels World, and he's been on eBay since, God, how long have you been on eBay? It's like years.
I actually have been on there in one way or another since the 90s. And I've been actually selling since 2004, I think it is, because I had a different account before the one now, and I know the date stamp on my account right now is 2004. Okay. So, but yeah, I was on there like long before then, buying things and you know, just everything else. So
cool. And it never fails. Whenever I start a YouTube live video, say hi.
Laser cats.
Every time. Yes, I see you. Yes, I'm making a video. I'm shocked you're still on my lap. So I was talking to somebody in a hangout the other day, and I was explaining you a bit, and then it came up with back in the day when eBay was really great and you could sell anything on eBay. I was telling them that you sold a pine needle. And they were like, oh my God, how did he do that? And I was about to explain it, and it's like, you know, I'm sure Nathan can explain how he was able to sell a pine needle better than I can. So I'm going to leave that one with you and to explain how you were able to sell a pine needle on eBay.
Okay. Well, let's see where to start with this. At the time, now this was like probably, is it either 2000, I think it was the end of 2005. And this was back when like you could see all the user IDs of the people who were bidding. And if any of you have or are aware of Golden Palace Casino, you may have seen on the internet, and you can Google this, like Forehead Goldie. She was one of the people who got a Golden Palace Casino tattoo. She actually got it on her forehead, hence Forehead Goldie. And they paid her like 10 grand to do it. And things like that were just rampant on eBay. And the reason that that people would pay so much for stupid things like that is that, like I said, you could see the user IDs of the people who were bidding and the people who bought things. So Golden Palace would go in there, and I mean other people, not just them, but them, for example, they would go in and they would bid things up to, like, there was the grilled cheese with the Virgin Mary burned into it. I think they bid that up to like either 14,000 or, God, I don't even remember, something sky high, because everybody could see who it was that was bidding. And their user ID was a link. And you could click on their user ID and it would take you to their store on eBay and result in sales. Now, Golden Palace Casino was an online casino, so theirs worked a little bit different. They weren't just selling on eBay. But that's like the gist of what was happening right there. And so in the middle of that, anything crazy would sell. Even if people weren't trying to redirect to their auctions, it just kind of became the thing to do. And let's see. So the pine needle was actually just, I mean, one of many stupid things that I sold. That pine needle I sold for like $67, and the guy who bought it, and I didn't even realize this until just a few years ago, the guy who bought it is actually a friend of mine on Facebook. And yeah, and I actually went to Las Vegas with him for an eBay thing in 2006. But I mean, I sold all kinds of things like a cotton ball for $100. I mean, one cotton ball. because I was a nurse at the time, and I'm
Yeah.
looking around for something dumb to put on eBay. And I opened up my med cart, and there's a cotton ball. So I'm like, okay, I'll do this. And so it sold for $100 to a guy in Hawaii. And it was just so crazy for things like that to be offered at the time. It was just a new thing. And, you know, if you go on there and you search in the everything else category right now, you can see some people trying to sell crazy stuff like that, but it doesn't work now.
Yeah.
And majority of the reason is because you cannot see who's buying it, you know, so it kind of, it lost its luster, you know.
Yeah.
And but yeah, I mean, at the time it was just all kinds of crazy stuff like that. I sold the pine needle, a pine cone, the cotton ball. I sold
Yeah.
I sold bottled. What's that?
You made a video and posted that to the link of that auction, and it was this what was it, Mission Impossible themed, of going all the way out and picking it up.
Right, yeah. And the funny thing about that is when I posted that on eBay, somehow the newspapers got a hold of it, and so did the news. And like I said, I was a nurse at the time. Channel 3 and Channel 5 both came bursting into my bedroom. It surprised me in there and did a whole story on it. And I mean, it went global. And and while they were there in the interview, they asked me to find something to sell, because I was trying to explain to them what it is I sell, and it was just anything. And so they filmed me as I walked down the hall and picked up a piece of popcorn. Now, this was in like maybe November or beginning of December. And the popcorn, you see those big tins of popcorn that are like $5 or $10, and everybody buys them and brings them to work. Well, that's what it was. You know, there was one of those popcorn sitting there. I picked it up, and the guy behind the camera is like, no, that's not going to work. How about this? And he hands me the whole tin. And I'm like, no, seriously, one piece. So we took one piece, put it on the news, me coming down the hallway and picking up and, you know, looking at it like, yes, that's the next thing. And somebody paid close to $400 for it, and gold plated it.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, I could literally just go on and on with those stories. That was the good time.
I wish I'd been on eBay back in those days.
Oh yeah, it was fun. Yeah.
Wow.
That actually led to, like, since I brought up the Las Vegas thing, that actually led to the Las Vegas thing. Me and a handful of other people, like 8 other people, we referred to ourselves as the eBay celebrities. And because it was just like right now on YouTube, you know, everybody is a YouTube star. Well, at the time, you were an eBay star. I mean, as crazy as that sounds, that's how it was. And so like 8 of us got together. We ran one big auction, and for somebody to pay us to advertise for them while we were at eBay Live 2006. And Golden Palace Casino actually bought it for $13,000 and sent us to Las Vegas. And that's a whole different story. That was kind of a crazy time, but it was fun. We went there and we wore all these fake tattoos. And, you know, at the time I wasn't actually covered with real ones, but we wore Golden Palace clothes, and that led to a pair of pants, actually, that you may have seen this before. I may have posted it in the group. I'm not sure. But a link to an auction that still is live because it's hosted by Golden Palace's website. And it's for the eBay Live 2006 Celebrity Pants. This pair of pants that I wore every day we were there in 106-degree weather. And we handed out Sharpies for everybody walking by to sign. We got like over 300 signatures just of regular eBay users. And Jared Fogle was one of them. Yeah, he came by. He was actually an idiot. I asked him to sign the pants, and he acted like I was asking him for $1 million, and he signed them. But yeah, he's crazy. So, but it was a good time. It was a really good time. So,
God, I really wish I would have been actually taking the gumption to learn eBay back then.
I kind of learned into it. Actually,
I could never get anybody to teach me, and after a while, it's like I'm just going to teach myself.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And you probably found out that it was actually a lot easier than you thought it was going to be too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Because they make it sound like, oh, it's going to be oh so difficult and hard and all this, that, and the other. And it's like, I was not to give up. Because there's all this reading. It's like, okay, I have to read this. I'm supposed to read this, but there's supposed to be money in this, so I'm going to learn it.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So I'm sure everybody who's watching this is aware 95% of what they teach you is not needed.
Right, yeah. Yep. See, and that's one thing when I started reading about Amazon and reading all the stuff in there, I'm thinking, how much do I actually need to know? But I'm afraid not to read what's on there because they just seem so much more picky than eBay.
Yep.
But eBay, you can sit down and literally in an afternoon learn how to do it and be selling by evening.
Yep.
But
I just like to be able to send stuff off on Amazon, get it out of my home.
Yeah, yep.
If it's an item that I pick up cheap and flip for quick cash on eBay, I'll do it. If it's something that's a long-term sell, send it off to Amazon.
Right, yeah. Yeah. And every once in a while when I go out, I scan the books and I pick up books, and I have a whole bunch of them here in case I ever do get around to Amazon. But I just haven't yet. I don't know. I might not, but if I do, I got a bunch of books to get started with. So
at least put them up for merchant fulfilled.
Yeah, I could do that. That's right.
It's like I've got mine set up for the few items that I have up as merchant fulfilled. I get a text message from Amazon so that I know I'm not going to miss it.
You mean if it sells?
Yep.
Oh, okay. All right.
You are just. She just left the camera, but just a hair off of camera.
Cats. Yeah, I have a dog, and we have all the cats around the neighborhood. And they, when I open the door, there's always one that's like peeking in. And I'm like, no, you don't want to go in there. I got a bulldog.
So how is, because you said it's always random with what we do. So it's always, you never know what's going to happen in the whole business. And I know you said your daughter's air conditioner went out and she's over there. Are they at least set up and everything? So
yeah.
Got a crib for your granddaughter when she comes over.
Yep, I finally got that set up the other day. And man, I must have spent 3 hours setting that thing up. I'm like, when I started, it was like a puzzle. You wouldn't think it's so hard to set up a crib. But yeah, it was like a puzzle. I'm like, there's metal pieces here and springs. I ended up with a handful of springs in the end I didn't even use. So I don't know, but it works. It's together, and so got that going. And yeah, I just straightened up the living room a little bit before they come. My dog will get up on the couch and the furniture, so I always have to put stuff up there. So if anybody's coming over, I was going to go out there real quick and pull it all off. And so yeah, it's been pretty eventful around here the past couple days. So see, and that's one of the things that's like doing this full time. It's when it's eventful, let's just put it that way. When it's eventful, you're available for it to be. I mean, like both of my sons are pulling me in a different direction right now. One of them's an hour and a half this way. The other one's 2 hours this way. Yeah. And they both need me at some time during this week. So I have to be able to drop everything and just go. And, I mean, it's demanding. you know, you got to be listing all the time and keeping up with the accounts, because otherwise the system will just kind of put you in that blackout. You know,
Yep.
so when you're doing other things, you're not sitting here working, but you have the freedom to go and do those other things.
Yep.
So, you know, whereas like my ex-wife, you know, she's at work, she can't take the phone calls, she can hardly get texts, has to find time to be able to call back and get time off to take care of this stuff, you know, and I'm just like, okay, see ya, get up and go.
Yep.
So I love that. Although it is kind of a double-edged sword.
Yeah, it took my father quite a while for him to realize that, yes, even though I do work from home, I have to be at home and I have to work. That doesn't mean I can come over to your home every day, back when he was living by himself, to go see him and drive him all over town to do the things that he wants to do.
Yeah.
Like, I did that for a week, and it's like, Dad, I can't. I have to work. It's like, but I'm self-employed. It's like, yeah, and I've spent like 80 hours this week driving you all over the place. And you have money for gas.
Yep. Yeah, like you're available to do the stuff, but you're available to do the stuff.
Yeah.
You know, and that's the thing, you know, people forget that just because I'm here and have the freedom to get up and go when I want doesn't mean that I don't have work to do.
Yeah.
You know, it's tough to maintain this. And you know, because the thing is, with a regular job, you have that paycheck coming every 2 weeks. With, you know, selling on eBay full time, the only way you have that paycheck coming is if you make it.
Yep.
So
it's one of the reasons I've been having a hard time these last few months. For some reason, sales have just tanked for me. I'm glad I still have my job, but I'm still listing. It's like I haven't stopped.
Yep, and I think that's the biggest key to keep the sales coming, is just keep on listing. And even though that sounds like, oh, well, duh, if you're listing, it's going to sell. But, yeah, I mean, there's more to it than that. You know, it's all about keeping that system busy with you and acknowledging that you exist. Because like I said, you know, when you stop listing for a day or two, you notice that the sales slow way down and stop.
Yep.
Yeah.
You pick up anything good recently?
What did I pick up? Yeah, I got a couple of really cool things. A Polo Bear sweater, Ralph Lauren.
That's right, I saw that post.
Yeah, I paid $35 for it, and I mean, it's brand new with the tags and everything. And I sold it last night for $250. Yeah, I had it on it for $280 for like 2 or 3 days, and I had 9 watchers, so I jacked it up to $320, and then I got 2 offers for $250. So that was a really good one, and this one is just really cool. I found a Goosebumps. I think it's like a full-size comforter. You know, the R.L. Stine Goosebumps shows and the books, and then they're coming out with a Goosebumps movie actually, I think in the fall.
Yeah, my daughter, since I showed her that preview of that movie, now she wants to read all the Goosebumps books, watch all the TV shows that ever were. It's like, hon, we don't have that kind of time. It's like, I can do it all in a day. Oh, not going to happen.
Let's see here. Yeah, I think that, the last one sold for $50, and the one before that was $60. I think I paid $3 for it.
Wow.
So that was, I thought I was really psyched about that. I really like finding the pop culture stuff like that.
If I get you on camera one more time, maybe you'll hop off my lap. All right. But I actually did go shopping today, and I did pick up a nice little item. A Canon Star Rider 30. I was confused because I just kept looking and looking, and I must have typed something in wrong on my phone because I couldn't find it. And then it's like, okay, try that one more time. And, oh, there we go. None active. 9 completed. 9 sold.
What is it, a printer?
It's kind of like a printer / typewriter thing. And Yeah, they'll probably get about $75-$90 out of it, and I paid $15.
Okay. Yeah, I found them here. I see what that is now.
Yep.
And yours is it new in the box?
No, it is used, but it's in excellent condition. It's got the box. It's got the styrofoam in it. I've already hooked it up. I've already verified that it works.
Right. Yeah.
I've even got, my wife said to hang on to the paper that I printed it out. And she's like, hang on to that, take a picture of that so you can at least prove, yes, I have typed this up, and yes, it does work. And
yeah. Yeah, here's one that even went for 95.
Yep.
Oh, well, maybe that's not the same thing. Starrider Jet 300.
I saw somebody sold theirs for about that, but they had it listed as free shipping, and I don't do free shipping anymore.
Me neither. No, I actually...
First class, that's one thing, but if it's a heavier item, no. I've learned the hard way.
I had a guy offer me... I hate it when they try to trick you like this. Guy offered me $25 for an Igloo cooler, and I think I had it listed at like 57 or something.
Mm-hmm.
And I came back and I countered at like 40 or 45. He came back and countered at 35, and I hit the button to accept before I noticed that he wrote down below free shipping. So I just sent him a message. Yeah, I sent him a message and I said, sorry, I don't do free shipping on anything. And I thought, please go for that, you know, because, you know, we don't have any hold on that.
Yeah.
So, and he seemed kind of perturbed about it, but he told me he wasn't interested anymore. So I told him, well, send me a cancel request. And he hasn't done that yet, but if he doesn't, he's going to get an unpaid item case.
I was going to say, you can do the buyer changed mind case, and then that's not going to hit you. It's not going to hit him. At least I hope it doesn't hit you, because I've been having a lot of people do that to me lately. It's like, okay, I just need you to confirm that you don't want the item. He's like, okay. It's like, I send it through, and after a week and a half, they don't confirm, then eBay will be like, okay, they decided they didn't want it, but they didn't confirm it, so we get feedback.
You know, and it's really tricky too when you're doing those cancel transactions.
Yeah.
Because there's certain ways you have to do it where it leaves them unable to leave you feedback. And I cannot remember what it is. I don't want to give out the wrong information, but it's something really crazy. Like if you send a cancel transaction request and they agree to cancel it. Now, I don't know. I don't even want to say it because I don't want to tell anything wrong, but it's just weird. It's weird. I'm going to have to just call them myself and get eBay on the phone and say, how do I do this and keep myself safe?
Yeah.
You know, I don't want him to be able to give me negative feedback for that, because really he tried to sneak it in on me, and I'm just not going to let him. And plus I don't want the defect for canceling it on my end.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We'll see what happens. On the other hand, I did get my iPad working. This is the one I sniped for $72 the other night. Well, what was it? Probably 3 or 4 weeks ago now.
Yeah.
And yeah, these go for almost $200 all day long. Nice. And I got it for 72, sniped it because the guy said it was stuck in recovery mode. And, you know, I used to sell cell phones strictly. That's all I sold at one point, was cell phones. So I would get these iPhones all the time and have to go through the whole, you know, hold this button and that button and then let go and this for 10 seconds and all that stuff. So I thought, well, I can get it out of recovery mode with no problem. I ran it through what was it, iTunes, and it pulled it out, and it worked for about a day, and then it shut off. And for about the next 2 weeks, it turned on and off and on and off, and I had to restore it and do it over and over. And finally, it accepted everything I did. and it's working perfectly fine now.
Nice.
So, yeah,
No
I
issue.
paid $72.
So I know you were having an issue with it doing the Facebook for a while.
Yeah, whenever I would try to download the Facebook app on there, it would flip into recovery mode, and I'm not sure why that was. I tried it over and over. Finally, I downloaded something else first, like maybe Craigslist or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it was Craigslist, and then I did Skype, and then I did Facebook, and it accepted it then. So I don't know. I've never seen anything like it. That was crazy. But
excuse me, boss. You have a text
I'll be right back. I'm out of coffee.
All right. All right, let's see what we got going here. I love Goosebumps. Randy. Yeah, I got Goosebumps books, and I don't know. I've sold the DVDs, but they don't go for all that much. But the books, I always look when I go to Goodwill or Salvation Army or wherever, and I get stacks of them. I think I have about 10 of them right now, and they're selling really good right now, especially because the movie's going to be coming out. And I'm just curious. I want to know when that movie comes out. So,
yeah, I think it was supposed to be this year at some point. I'd look it up, but you are already on your computer beating me to it.
All right, let's see. Where the heck is it here? I got every country but the USA on here.
Of course.
I'm sure it's on October, though. It wouldn't make any sense for it to be any other time. Goosebumps release. October 16th. Yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah. Jack Black.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Bad. How many thrift stores do you hit in a normal haul? Is that supposed to be for me or for... I'd say normal haul. If I'm actually going out thrifting, I'd be like 3 stores minimum.
Yeah, I usually every time I leave the house, I hit a thrift store. But if I'm going out specifically just to go thrift shopping, I mean, I'll hit anywhere from 3 to 6 of them at a time. And the area that I am in, I'm surrounded by them. I mean, I've got I can just think there's like 8 Goodwills that I can think of right offhand. So really, I could take an entire day. I usually run out of money before I run out of stores. So, but I also will spend anywhere up to, I'll spend 3, 4, sometimes 5 hours in one store. So, the Goosebumps book selling well. Yeah, the books do really good.
Don't tell that to my daughter.
What's that?
Don't tell that to my daughter. Because
I've seen where some people are listing them individually. But when I get them, I put them on there as a lot.
Yeah.
And let me see if I can tell you one of them I sold here recently. Well, hell, here's a lot of 30 of them. It just went for $55.
I wish I'd known that a while ago, because it was just after we saw that they were coming out with the Goosebumps movie. I saw in Goodwill, somebody must have donated their entire collection. Had to have been like 20, 30 books in one, all at once, all together.
Right.
My daughter wants it. I'm not going to buy the whole collection. I will get her one.
You know, pardon me. Our Goodwills, all the books are $1 a piece now, but they still put the color stickers on them. So when that color cycles around on sale, you can get them for 50% off. So when I find the Goosebumps or any other books I want, I turn around and I try to hide them like on the lower shelves.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're still there. But yeah, because if you can get them for 50 cents a piece, you can make some good money on them. That's
actually what I pay full price in this area.
What's that?
50 cents a piece. That's what I pay here. I pay $1 for hardbacks.
Yeah.
Then half the day comes around.
Yeah, here's a lot of 52 of them that just went for $66. So yeah,
Nice.
I mean, if you get them for 30 or for 50 cents a piece or less, then they're really good money makers. And there's another set of books. Hold on, let me run and get it. I don't remember what it's called.
Hey guys, feel free to ask any questions in the chat.
Okay, I might have told you about this one before. Scary Stories in the Dark to Tell in the Dark? Yeah, Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. There's actually, this is the smaller version. There's actually a bigger one that's just slightly bigger than this. And there are 3 of these. This one doesn't have a number, but the bigger ones, I believe, have a number on them. And I also sold all 3 of them in one lot just not too long ago. Let's see here. Yeah, I mean, here's 3 of the 3 together went for 25 bucks. And it looks like that's anywhere from 15 to 25 bucks for all 3 of them together.
Do you have all 3 of them together so you can show everybody?
I don't. This is the only one that I have now. I had those other 3. I mean, I had all 3 of them together in the bigger size one. But I'm trying to. Yeah, if you
scary stories are just going to be flying out the door.
Right. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. If you just search for Scary Stories lot or 3 books or something, you know, they'll come up.
I'm sure everybody just saw my wife sneak past.
Yeah, speaking of Halloween, man,
I'm ready.
If you look at Craigslist, a lot of times I can find a lot of inflatables, Halloween inflatables on Craigslist, and you can get them for like 10 bucks a piece, and they will sell anywhere for up to like 60, 70, sometimes $100 a piece, depending on which ones they are. The Christmas ones will even go for more than that. But Halloween does really good.
I've never found any good ones. I saw a blow up mold Christmas one as I was becoming a reseller, but even when I saw it then, they were asking like $80 for it. It's like, yeah, no. But I'll only beginning to learn what to look for, and that wasn't exactly one thing that I was looking towards doing because it was so big.
Right. There's one of them that I keep an eye out for, actually. Hold on, let me do a little secret look here. I want to buy it first if there's one available before I tell everybody. Okay. It's called an Inflatable Ogre, O-G-R-E.
Okay.
And there's 3 of them listed right now. 55, 110, and 150. And this thing is the creepiest thing I've ever seen. It's 8 feet tall, and it has a voice box that when you go by, it screams, and the face, I think, strobes. And it's so creepy. It's like this blood-curdling scream.
Oh,
And Yeah, I sold one last year or the year before for like $200. That one's actually pretty rare, so I'm surprised there's 3 of them on there right now. Sorry, I'm multitasking here for a minute.
I got a kitty who just wants to be YouTube famous. And she's like, oh, dear God, human, put me down. Yeah, I put you down, then you stay on my lap, of course. Yes, I see you. I know you're there. I have not forgotten you.
Jeez. Okay.
Like, I'm still waiting on somebody to buy my black Panasonic OmniVision dual combo player. It's like I've got it listed for like $100, and it's got like 4 or 5 watchers. It had 6 watchers at one point, and then I put it on sale just because I'm trying to get stuff to move out the door, but nobody's buying it. I'm the only one who has that one listed with the remote for $100. I'm asking that for because I have it with the remote. Otherwise, I'd be asking less. But nobody's buying.
Right.
It's like, come on.
I have 2 of the regular OmniVision ones that I just haven't listed yet.
Oh God, I think I've got like 8 of them.
Okay, now I'm gonna try to post in the questions here a link to that auction I was talking about earlier.
It doesn't.
Well, maybe I can tell you about the auction. The pants that I had signed in Las Vegas. I don't know. I don't think it's going to come up there.
No, it's not going to come up over there.
Okay. Oh well. Yeah, it's a really cool auction just to see. It's got Viva Las Vegas by Elvis playing, and it's just fun to look at it because when we were in there in Las Vegas, we were laying all over the ground, having people sign sign my pants, and it's just a really cool thing. I wish I could post the link in there. Oh well.
So here's a question I've actually been meaning to ask you.
Okay.
Why did you go from being a nurse to just being a reseller?
I actually got to the point where I despised nursing. Let's see. I went to school to become a nurse aide when I was, let's see, I guess it would have been about, geez, when was it? 1999? 98? Something like that. Became a nurse aide first while I was in school to be an EMT, emergency medical technician.
Mm-hmm.
And by the time I got my EMT license, I was just really enjoying working in the nursing field, in the nursing homes. And plus, I just didn't like the whole EMT thing. You know, I went through all the classes and that, got my license, but I just wasn't liking it. So after being an aide for, I think, 2 years, I decided to go to nursing school. And because I thought, you know, I really like what I'm doing here. I like working with people and everything and being at the bedside, and went to nursing school. And I think I graduated in 2001, if I'm not mistaken. I was a nurse through 2011. And it just kind of, I don't know if other people feel the same way who are in nursing, but to me, I felt like it didn't turn out to be what it was supposed to be. for me, it wasn't turning out to be something where you're actually there, helping people live out the rest of their life to the best that they can. It just was really, really political, and there was just a lot of things going on that I didn't like. And then the staffing was horrible. I mean, and it's bad with any job you work, but the staffing in nursing was just constantly just horrible.
Yep.
And so I actually,
driver, I see that.
What's that?
Even as a pizza delivery driver, I see that.
Yeah. I actually made a sort of a plan. I used to make my own calendars and put them on my desk. And I marked my birthday, which is March 5th, as the date I was going to be out of nursing. And this was like 8 months down the road. And I mean, with eight months prior to my birthday. Yeah, make sure I say that right. And I had no idea how I was going to do it, but I just kept telling myself it's going to happen. And meanwhile, I was getting more and more frustrated with everything that was going on with nursing. And I actually ended up in the hospital twice with bad chest pains and high blood pressure and stuff, all related to my job. And I ended up having to take antipsychotics and, blood pressure medications and stuff like that. And I'm like, I've got to get out of here. So I took a 2-week leave of absence. And midway through that leave, I found out that the place was sold. I mean, nobody even bothered to call me. The only way I knew is because my ex-wife works there too. And yeah, so I found out the place had been sold. So when I came back, they were making everybody go through the entire process of reapplying, just as if you were applying for a brand new job, like you'd never worked there before. So I thought, okay, I'll go through this, and if they hire me on, then, I'll give it my all again. Maybe with new owners, things will be different. And so I gave it an honest go, did everything they wanted me to do. And the last day came where you had to have everything finished in order to stay. And they told me they were going to have me stay, but they never gave me the drug test, and they never did my orientation. And so I wrote up a little letter kind of letting scheduling and everybody else know that, hey, I guess I'm not going to be here. So tomorrow you're going to have an empty floor. And the new owners called me aside and they asked me why I wasn't staying. And I said, well, I could ask you the same thing. You never finished the process. If you want me to go to the thing right now, I'll go. And actually, I didn't offer to go. I actually said, if you ask me to stay now, the answer is no. But, I said, you guys never finished the whole thing. I told you I would stay. You told me you were going to have me stay, and they didn't finish it. So I walked away and never looked back. I burned my license. I never want anything to do with it again. I don't know how other people feel about nursing who are in that position, but I never again. And I had a lead on another job, actually, which was at Family Video. And as crazy as that sounds, it was paying more than I made as a nurse.
Really?
Because, yeah, it was going to be a management position. And I went to, it was unbelievable. I was blown away when I found out what it paid. And let's see. I went through 2 interviews, and they told me there was going to be a 3rd interview. They were going to send me to Pennsylvania or something. And then they never did. They just kind of dropped it right there. And I think the reason they dropped it is because I must have shown some opposition when they asked me if I was willing to relocate, because the way that I understand it works with them is you have to be willing to just go where they tell you to go. So if they wanted me to move 2 states away to work in a store 2 states away, I'd have to be willing to do that. And when he asked me if I was that flexible, I must have just had that look on my face like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, I feel
That-
the same way. It's
yeah.
like, nah, I'm staying where I'm at.
Yeah, that was.
My father was a
Yeah.
Methodist minister, and we moved way too many times. We moved like every 4 years, and then when I finally got to high school, we moved every year, and I
Okay.
had enough. It's like I now only move if I have to.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, when our lease is up here, I'm at the point I have to.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, business is expanded. I have no room. Give you a rough idea. This is my stack of electronics that I need to go back through, reprice, and decide, do I want to try and take them to a pawn shop, or am I going to wrap them up and send them off to Amazon?
Yeah.
This is like 10% of my electronics.
Jeez.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Now, is that stuff you've already tried to sell on eBay, or?
I've been sitting on those for like a year.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, those do take up a lot of room.
The sad thing is I've got the rest of them sitting in my bedroom.
Jeez.
I've got like 4 stacks.
That's crazy.
I need to find a better system because I don't want to have to send them off to Amazon just to pay all that storage fees. It's like, God, especially if they're not going to sell.
Right, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, even with all the room that I have to store things, you know, I've got those 2 rooms upstairs. Stuff like that it just seems to take up all the room you have. You know, and I don't know.
Yeah, but since I got into electronics, the amount of money that I make with eBay has literally doubled. And
Oh,
most
really?
of my money is from electronics.
Yeah.
And it's kind of, I hate to get away from it, but at the same time, I love it.
Right.
So much money in electronics that people just love. They just want to buy them. It's like even VCRs. VCRs are my top item. I don't understand it. I don't complain one bit.
Right.
It's like other people are like, what are your, and I hate the term, what are your bread and butter items? It's like, well, at one point I used to say kitchen appliance parts. Now it's VCRs. My bread and butter items are VCRs.
Yeah.
Panasonic OmniVision is my top seller because I can't really keep them in stock for very long.
Yeah.
I've got some that I've been sitting on for 3 weeks, and I'm shocked that they're still there.
You know, do you remember a while back, I mean, like, this was probably close to a year ago, when I posted the picture of me pushing the cart that had a whole stack of brand new VCRs in the box. They were security VCRs.
No, I don't think I ever saw that one.
Okay. I'm sure it's on a page there somewhere, but I think I bought like 5 or 6 of them. I got them for like $10 a piece, and they were security VCRs, time-lapse VCRs. And I mean, I thought those things would go so good. I sold one for like $50. I sold another for $35 that the guy sent back and gave me a negative feedback because he claimed it didn't work. And the rest are sitting upstairs. I can't do anything with them. I think I have one priced for like $25 right now.
Wow.
I don't know why, but I just can't give them away.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why I have such good luck with VCRs, but I have good luck with VCRs. It's just crazy.
Yeah.
Like, what are your top selling items? Can't seem to keep in stock for very long.
Well, I'll tell you what, one thing that does sell for me really fast every time I get it in stock, and we were just kind of talking about this the other day, is those purple ab rollers. Um, yeah, they're such a pain to pack because they're so big, even after you take them apart. But I mean, I pick them up for like $10 a piece or less, and I sell them so often that all I have to do is go into my sold listings, and hit relist. So before I even pay for it in the store, it's relisted, and I sell them every time for like $58 a piece.
I've only seen like one or two, and I've never really stopped to think about it.
Yeah, they just sell so good, and it's only that one. There's a blue one that does okay, but the problem with the blue one is that it's called an ab sculptor. And so if I ever buy one of those, I put ab roller in the title too, because nobody's looking for an ab sculptor. You can't even remember the word sculptor half the time. But ab roller, that's the one that stays in your mind. So yeah, people love those blue ones. Love them. That's one of the quickest selling things that when I find it, I know it's going to sell pretty fast.
You keep boxes on actually in home all the time?
Specifically for those?
Yeah.
Not all the time. The boxes I use to ship those are either, it's a large box called a large moving box from Walmart. It's like $2 or something. And I got Walmarts at arm's length all around me. So if I need one, I just go get it. It's either that, or when you order the 12-inch by 12-inch by 8-inch boxes from USPS, the big box that those come in, I use those. It's a little too short, so when I disassemble the ab roller, I stick all the pieces in there, and then you kind of have to fold the top around and like tape the shit out of it. But yeah, I use that all the time. Never had a complaint about the way I ship them at all. So
okay.
Although I have forgotten to put the hardware back in a few times. When you take it apart, there's like 8 black bolts. They're about an inch long. Take them out, stick them right back in. That's all you got to do. And half the time I get the whole thing packed, and I look, and I got them all sitting there on my desk.
First class envelope.
Right, yeah. Yep, sometimes I do that, actually. I stick it in the envelope, I cut a slit in the box, slide it in, and tape up the slit. Let's see. Yeah, that is... I mean, as far as a fast seller, that's one that I know that when I find it, it's going to go. Now, I have sold a good number of the Guitar Hero guitars.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking it's Xbox 360 that has done the best. And they will go for like $28 a piece, 30 something. Especially the white ones that look like a Les Paul. For the Nintendo Wii, they're kind of hard to sell. I have one sitting on here right now that's been on for probably 4 months. But Xbox 360, you put it on there and it's gone.
There's a question in the chat. Did you get your money back on the table topper return scam on Amazon? I am still going back and forth with Amazon on this. We are constantly going back and forth with emails, so it is still up in the air. I promise I'll make a video when it is all said and done to let everybody know what has happened. Unfortunately, it is still going.
That's crazy. What have they told you so far? I mean, are they giving you any kind of hope with it, or just stringing it along?
They are. I think they're just stringing it along because they're getting order numbers mixed up. It's like, but that doesn't match up to what this order number here is. It's like, that's not the order number that I gave you originally. It is this order number over here, and I haven't heard from them in 3 days because they've been constantly keeping in touch with me, and then they just stopped. And it's like, okay, do I have to respond again, or do I need to call Amazon again? And somebody in another group said just constantly keep on top of Amazon and said that they will get that you will get paid back for it, I'm not holding high hopes. If anything, the person that scammed me, they would lose their buying account. At the very least, I hope that happens.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm at least make sure Amazon is aware that people still do it. There is a way to, hopefully we can help Amazon find out a system of how to get them to make sure people aren't going to be trying to scam you.
Right. Now, there was something you had a little while ago that I don't remember what the case was. I think you sold something, they sent it back, and it was sort of like this, where it was like damaged by them or something, and Amazon was like right on top of it, gave your money right back. But I don't remember what that was. Does that ring a bell?
I've had a few items like that.
I remember that was one of the things that I thought, well, that's definitely a plus about Amazon. But now seeing how they're handling this, of course, it's a lot more money.
The thing that this VCR that UPS damaged, and Amazon gave us our money back.
The VCR.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Amazon reimbursed us because it wasn't our fault or their fault. It was UPS's fault.
Yeah. Somebody bought the VCR, the Panasonic OmniVision VCR with remote for like $130.
Yeah.
And the customer gets it, and they said it got damaged. They sent it back. It was a little bit of an ordeal of just calling Amazon to figure out what's going on.
Right.
Turned out that every person that I spoke to prior for like a month was a new person and didn't know what they were doing or how to do the job. So they're like, just call back in a few weeks. And then after a few weeks, I'd call back. Oh, call back in a couple days. Okay, a couple days. I call back. Oh, call back tomorrow. Okay, next day I call back. That person. We've been sitting on this item for a month. We've been wondering when you were going to call back about it.
God. That's not.
So what can we do about it? It's like, okay, well, that's all we needed you to do was just call back to confirm that, yes, it is yours. If you wanted it, you could have it if we weren't going to pay you for it. But we're going to pay you for it, so we're just going to take care of it from here. So here's your money for it. It's like, thank you. It was a $130 VCR. Yeah, I want the money for it. I want the remote. It's like, I don't care that much about the VCR. I want the remote. It's like, I paid for the remote than I paid for the VCR. And I told that to the rep, and he's like, how much did you pay for the remote? I bought the remote off eBay. I wanted to send in the VCR with the remote because when you send your VCR into Amazon, you're supposed to have the remote with it.
Yeah.
Oh, I paid this much for the remote. And he's like, wow, that's crazy. It's like, can I ask you where you got the VCR from? It's like, I don't know if I'm allowed to tell you where I bought this, so I'm going to have to say no. Yeah, I just bought it at Goodwill for like $3. Yeah.
And what if you told them that? What would they say? I mean,
oh God, I would be afraid that they would restrict my selling.
Really? That's crazy.
God, I can't imagine. It's the most of the stuff that I buy that I send into them, I've gotten from Goodwill. Not everything.
Yeah. Well,
like
really, who doesn't? I mean,
yeah, I picked up items off of the shelf of Walmart and sent it in.
Yeah, yeah. I was over at Walmart just a little bit ago today buying stuff for dinner, and I saw a whole wall of stuff they just marked down. And so, of course, I'm looking it up now. It was like $5 a piece for these things, and they're going for about 15 to 20 a piece. And I'm like, okay, do I want to empty my account right now? But I just left them there. I thought, nah, it's been too slow lately to drop that kind of money at the moment. So
yeah,
I just walked on, but it was kind of tough. Because I love finding that brand new stuff, especially around Christmas.
I probably would have purchased at least one. That way you at least spent and got one to keep going.
Right. course, I'm in Walmart every day, so I'll probably come home with a load of them tomorrow.
I might make a gym.
Because you wanted to be an awesome wife and get me another cup of coffee. Did I finish that? Yes, I did. I love you. Thank you, dear.
You're welcome.
All right, so we've been going at this for an hour, and does anybody have any questions? Like, I know there's like a 20-second delay, so I'm gonna wait.
Right.
The real life. Well, my daughter decided to clean her ears with a Q-tip the other day and was a little bit aggressive. Perforated her eardrum.
You did what?
She perforated her eardrum.
Oh, man.
I got that call on Friday night during the rush that I needed to stop by, pick the family up, and go to the ER. And I didn't have the time to stay with
That's crazy. So what did they do for her? I mean,
We've got eardrops,
Eardrops.
and then we need to go back to the doctor here before long. I don't even know if we have an appointment yet.
yeah. Man, there was that one point when my kids were little, I was going to the ER all the time. And I remember it was always after I worked some shitty 16-hour shift as a nurse, you know?
Of course.
And
Always
I
a
would,
long day.
I'd come in and I'd be so exhausted. And I remember one time my son, who's off in college now, he was always so hyper. And he was always like jumping and like he was shooting a basketball, always making that motion. And he jumped up and he swung his hand and caught his little finger on the door frame and broke it. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. I just got in the house. And so off we went to the ER. And another time it must have been right after Christmas. We were in this other house. And again, it was a long day. I came home and I just sat down. And here comes my son through the basement door there, because my computer was downstairs in the basement time. He comes through the door on his Heelys. And, and the Heelys go out from under him, and he broke his arm. I'm like, holy shit, you gotta be kidding me, man. So, Jairus was at the hospital.
I swore when I saw those things the very first time that if I ever had kids that I would not allow them to get those things.
Right.
And like out of all of the people who were using those things, there was only one reported death from it. But how many
They were
kids?
dangerous enough that almost every school in the area has it on their school dress code as a not allowed to wear. It's right there next to flip-flops. No flip-flops, no Heelys. Not allowed to wear flip-flops or Heelys to school.
Jeez.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's horrible.
All right.
But all right,
Well,
not too bad for a first episode.
yeah.
Yeah.
So what did you say about doing this like one at the first of every month? Does that say you want to do it, or
Tuesday of every month.
first Tuesday? Okay.
Yeah, because even though I still have my job, we are understaffed, and if I didn't love my job, I wouldn't still be there, and I've been having to pull extra hours, so I've been working Thursday, Friday, Sunday, Monday. It's like,
Yeah.
actually, I'm only supposed to be like 1-2 days a week. How did I get roped into 4 days a week?
Jeez.
Last week, I think I ended up with like 43 hours. It's like 1 to 2 days a week, not 5 days and all of these hours. No. At least that one extra day, I had my second best tip day ever, and I walked out of there at the end of the day with like $235 cash in hand from tips.
Wow.
Yeah.
Jeez. Can't beat that.
long day.
Yeah.
It was money.
Right. All right. Well, I'm gonna go watch a movie here with my daughter, and
All right, tickle some extra little toes for your granddaughter for me.
we'll do it.
All right, so don't forget, guys, like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below.